Hi, welcome to Cobb TV. My name is Aqua Liao, and I'm here with Cobb Commission Chairman Mike Boyce. Good morning, Chairman. How are you?
Aqua, good to be back. Good morning to you.
I see that we have a couple of things that we want to talk about
Sure.
today.
Well, as you know, we had our another long meeting Tuesday night because we had two public hearings. One was on the 2040 comprehensive plan, and then, of course, with the initial hearing on the 2018 budget. And I just think the thing I want to emphasize about the 2040 comprehensive plan is that there was significant public input into it over a long period of time, and it'll be a great deal of disservice to the public, the citizens that participated in this plan, to make significant changes at the commissioner level, to make it make it more of a subjective plan than an objective plan that reflects the input from the public. So I'm obviously it's not a perfect document because it asks you to look into the future, and last time I checked, none of us were that clairvoyant. But I think it pretty well brings together the general idea of the direction we want to go to in the future. It addresses a county that in some areas is already urbanized. It addresses a part of the county that is struggling to stay not rural so much, but as semi-rural, with increasing development there because the land use plan allows for that development. And it reflects a plan that acknowledges that there's part of the county that's still trying to find its identity, and we're giving lots of opportunity to provide support in that direction. So again, no one plan fits one template because the county itself it reflects the diversity both of the economy and the cultures that we have in this county. But I believe that the people who put this plan together, both from government level and in the public level, have done a great job. And I think the plan is a solid plan, and I look forward to having that plan after the public hearing next month approved by the board. The budget, of course, I think what we've seen last week, we had the unfortunate circumstance of a discussion on one potential savings for the budget to address the whole, where it was brought out into the public forum long before we had an informed discussion about it at the board level. And so now it's in the hands of the public, which is not a bad thing. Obviously, we have nothing to hide in the board. At least I hope people realize we have nothing to hide. But there's always the risk of submitting something out there, making it controversial, and that becomes the focus of a topic which really has a much broader perspective and reach. The budget is somewhere a little over $400 million just for the county part. That doesn't address the water. It has a lot of pieces in it, but the challenge, as I keep telling everybody, is that we're going to come into the 2019 budget preparation with a significant hole starting at $20 million. And I fully expect it to get bigger because we have not yet heard from the constitutional officers about their requirements, and I know informally having discussions with them that there are some. The 2018 budget, though, is pretty well set. It's a zero growth budget, although, again, because it's not a simple issue, it seems like we're growing when, in fact, if you look at the part that particularly pertains to the homeowners, the property owners, the revenue from property taxes is zero, and there's zero increase. So it means that the millage rate will reflect exactly pretty much what we collected this year. There'll be some growth in other areas in revenue because we collect fees and we have grants and things that add to the budget. And of course, I think it's a good thing that we're successful in acquiring grants from the federal government and the state that allows us to do some things in the county. Some require matching grants, some do not. So there's a perception that we're collecting more money to fund this increased digest, when the reality is those increased revenues are coming from other sources. But that's not the real issue here. The real issue here is that we're slowly but surely, I think the light is going on, that as I said last week in my talk, we are faced with a significant fiscal challenge. And we don't have the luxury of the federal government of being able to borrow to fill that hole. We have to find ways to fill that hole using the existing revenue that we get from taxes and other fees. And the reality is that unless we have increased development here on the commercial side, not just the residential side, but on the commercial side, we are never going to be able to fill that hole without doing a couple things, as I said last week, maybe three things: either raising the millage rate, cutting services, or doing both. And I think that's the parameters of the way ahead. The reason I'm saying we're getting ahead of the game here is that the board formally will not start addressing the 2019 budget until the end of October, when we have a retreat. So anything that's out there right now, they may heard about in the media or through open other sources, strictly conjecture. There is nothing that the board has done right now that formally intends to close anything or to shut down any service. But that doesn't mean that that won't be a potential in the future. And I think we have to be realistic about that and acknowledge the fact that this is not something where it's going to go away. There's no magic solution to this. This is something where the board has to work together as a team and come up with a solution. You know, I remember after the first Gulf War, I was still in the region, and we were doing getting the Kurds out of the mountains back down to an area where we could feed them, because it was just too difficult to take care of them where they had retreated to escape Saddam Hussein's army, who were going after them and killing them in great numbers. And the ambassador sent me to this town in central Turkey, and I remember getting off the C-130 at night, walking off the ramp and saying, what in the world am I doing here? And secondly, what am I going to do to fix this? Well, I know why I'm here. I believe that everything I've done in my background has brought me to the point where I'm expected to lead the board out of this, to face this challenge. I don't have the answers right now, but I do know that I have full confidence that we all have the ability to solve this problem if we do one thing and one thing only, which is that we have the political will to do the right thing, which is why the voters elected us to this office. They expect us to do the right thing, and they expect us to show the courage to do the right thing. And I know it's not easy, but not doing the right thing only makes this problem worse, and in the end, it leads to a disaster. So we're going to have to step up to the plate here and find a way to fix this problem, and just as importantly, to communicate it to the people over the next 9 months as to what we're doing and why we're doing it, and then getting the feedback so we can tweak it. But the bottom line is, I hope nobody is under the illusion that this is going to be an easy fix. This is going to require some really, really hard choices and calls. We already have some of them right now as we address the opening of the Sewell Mill Library and addressing the nonprofits that the county has provided funds for the last 20 years. Those are immediate challenges to make sure we balance the 2018 budget, but those will be a advanced idea of the challenge we face for the 2019 budget, which are even bigger.
Thank you, Chairman. We realize that there are a lot of challenges, but we know that the board is going to do what is right, and that's what's good and what is good for the county. If you would like additional information about the comp plan or the budget discussion, please go to www.cobbcounty.org. All the documents are available for download, and you can read the information there. And one last thing, Chairman, I know that this is the last week for us to take applications for the Public Safety Citizens Academy.
Right.
And since you are a previous participant,
That's right.
give us a little insight.
Well, I am a graduate. I did the program 2 years ago, and it's an incredible program. It really gives the public and those who participate a great idea of the enormous capabilities of our public safety department, and more importantly, about how really good these men and women are that protect us every day. The seats are limited. It is a serious commitment. I think it's somewhere like 11 or 12 weeks.
It is.
That you have to go. A lot of these times you have to go during rush hour, so you have to take some extra time to get to some of these facilities. But I'll guarantee you that this is going to be time well spent, and at the end, everybody gets a free ride along with any one of the 5 districts we have here in our police department. And there you're going to get to see these incredible young men and women in action, about how really good they are, and why when I say that this is a county where we can safely work, play, recreate, and pursue our dreams, it's because of the training that we provide to our public safety officials and the training we give them that lets them, make sure that everybody realizes that even if you're stopped by a public safety official, you're still afforded the courtesy that everyone deserves here in this county. So again, if you have the time, please sign up for it. And if you can't get into this class because the seats are limited, then try to do it next time too. It's a great program, and I would really encourage everybody to attend if they could.
Thank you, Chairman. Thanks for the info. Again, the application is available on our website. It's www.cobbcounty.org. Thank you for joining us this week, and we'll see you next week. Have a wonderful week.